period. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?
Nigga, what a day today. Not supposed to start the episode off like that because YouTube don't like that when you curse in the first 7 to 12 seconds. So that's going to have to be an edit right there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the most dangerous podcasts in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm going to start saying that because a lot of flack has been going on with the comment sessions. Thank you so much on TikTok for your comment sessions, for your comments, good or bad. You know, hating boosts the algorithm as well too. So it helps in all shapes and forms. Thank you so much for your information. Without further ado, I got my man right here, Deli. He is a artist. From, are you from New Haven or are you?
No, I'm originally from North Branford, so I'm not too far
from Branford. Okay,
Branford.
So you Connecticut based, but you're not from New Haven. You go to school out here?
I do.
Okay, bet. Branford's own. I think you're the first brother that I have interviewed from Branford. Actually,
North Branford.
North Branford's own. Word. We got my boy Deli, AFTF. What's up, Deli? How much you love the haters too, real quick?
Well, feel me, like hate is a big thing. Hate is a strong emotion. I feel like that when I was younger, it drove me. I think people just have a lot to say, and I learned as I grew older not to take things personal, because a lot of the times people don't say things to you, hate driven things because of you. They say it because of them. They might have an insecurity. They might have something going on inside. And so a lot of the times now, where I used to let it motivate me, now I just take it, and I think about it. I don't let it affect me. I don't let it knock me off my course, but I definitely think about it. And, all you can do is hope that these people will get themselves together, because we're all imperfect. We all make our own mistakes. We all, but I think that we all got to get it all figured out so we could bring goodness to each other, not anything bad.
Yo, I appreciate you for helping me rise out of my pettiness. You know what I mean right now, because you hear a lot of nonsense going on and stuff, and you just try so hard. Because especially all you do is just stay at home and then you go to work and use the camera when you out there to like grind and connect with the people. But it's whatever. At the end of the day, bro. So people always gonna be mad about shit. Yo, man, I heard your joint. We did a show together at the open mic. Shouts out to the game night. Shouts out to Nebula. Did I say this shit right?
Okay.
Nebula. Yeah, I just interviewed Daquan. That interview is gonna come out soon. And his boy Fats. Shouts out to Fats as well too. Two good solid brothers, man. Let me tell you something. Connecticut got something to say out here, and I mean, you did a show where I was partnering the showcase. How did you feel about that experience? Doing just performing and getting out here. Like, how do you feel?
The one at Secrets.
Yeah, the one at Secrets. Yep.
Oh. This summer, I really decided I want to do a lot of more performing, get myself out there, get my face out there, my music. Overall, it was a great experience. The one issue I had with the one that was at Secrets was that I had tried to resend new tracks because some of the other ones were cut off and the internet connection in there was awful. So that was unable to be done. But after the performance was, progressing through, I was extremely content with how it came out regardless, despite that technical issue. And I feel like it was a great experience.
Word. Yeah, man. I enjoyed your set. I didn't know that was going on behind the scenes. I apologize about that. That wasn't my end. I apologize. But I'm glad that you were still able to show the people what you got, and I feel like it was a really good set. And then I really started to like you when I saw you perform at that other showcase with Daquan.
Mhm.
Then I started seeing like, yo, this kid's serious right here. This kid's serious.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 22. I'm about to be 23 in a month. November 1st. I'm only 22 right now.
Damn. All right, word. That means you was born in like 2001.
2001. Yep.
See, I was born in 1999. So we like what, 10 years apart?
Yeah.
Word. So how did you get into to music? You know what I mean? Like
So,
what exposed you growing up out there in North Branford? I don't know anything about North Branford.
well, let's see. So I didn't spend a lot of time in North Bedford. I had a group of friends, but I spent most of my time out here, actually, New Haven.
Mm-hmm.
I went to summer camps. I used to sometimes go with my mom to work. She works at New Haven Hospital, so I
Okay.
didn't spend too much time over there. But I feel like a lot of the connections that I made when I was younger were out here in New Haven, and um, a lot of my biggest influences when it came to music, growing up, I liked a lot of like melodic stuff. Like I like moving. Like I don't like just chilling out. So like music like that made me want to dance, music that made me want to sing and dance, music that made me just feel in my body. So let's see, like people like Chris Brown, like that, he was a big influence on me. And I'll say really what started my music journey, like creating music, was this one time in high school in study hall. My friend, he had made music and he was just like, oh, I want to freestyle. And so he was like, Joey, look up a freestyle beat. And so we started playing the freestyle beat and was like, why don't you start freestyling with me? So then I started doing that. It was fun. We recorded it, and then like we showed it to the people in school, and they loved it. So I was like, maybe I should start trying to record my own music. That's kind of where it started.
Word. And then, so you had to learn how to engineer and everything. Was you what were you? Did you find an engineer, or were you just trying to like do it on the fly?
At that point, I was using, right after I started, then I was using a microphone from like Guitar Hero, a USB mic from Guitar Hero, and I was using Audacity on my computer. So it's pretty basic. I was trying to look up tutorials, different stuff, figuring out how things would work, trying to piece stuff together with the limited amount of money that I had at that time.
Wait, so you said Audacity. What was the other program?
Audacity was the recording program, and the microphone that I had was one from like an Xbox game.
Oh, so you just only used Audacity?
Yeah, at that point. Yeah.
Okay, word. Got you. My bad. Continue. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So like that day in study hall, I was using an app called Rap Chat. So that's where I had recorded most of my first like songs. And then I realized like
I use that too.
yeah,
Actually,
I could probably, there's ways to make it better, and that's when I try to transfer over to being resourceful, and I use the Guitar Hero mic and just my computer that I had at home.
We got a lot in common. I recorded my first joint off of Guitar Hero.
Word?
Oh yeah, Guitar Hero mic. Yeah, with the Audacity. Yep. That's funny. Yo, that Guitar Hero mic, it can be used for clutch, man, not just video game.
Word.
You remember the song you recorded off with the Guitar Hero mic?
I think. No, I don't.
It was a minute ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a while ago, but I felt good while I was recording.
Word. And like, how was like your family background? You got any church influence? Like any religious influence?
Yeah, so I was raised Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm exploring that a lot more than I was now. Making choices for myself. I don't want to say I'm stepping away from the church, because that's not what it is. But I definitely trying to put it all into perspective in terms of like how it affects my life, it affects my worldview, and how other people have different ones. I grew up in the church, so being around other children who had that same perspective, now stepping outside. Last year, my roommate, he was a Muslim, so we had a lot of conversations. We had a lot of disagreements, agreements, similarities, differences. And then I took a class which was about religion. So I learned about like more Eastern religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I have a very broad perspective on what it means, the word religion means. But I feel like with all my research and like understandings that I have now, I still feel like I strongly believe in, Jesus and things of that nature. So that's very influential on me as a person.
Wait. When did you started realizing that you need to take this music game seriously? And what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a rapper, pop star, singer?
Um,
Pop
so
star, as in like making pop genre music, not being the actual star.
I would say to go for the first question first, like when did I start taking it serious?
Yeah.
I first started taking it like serious when I had made one song in high school that had kind of gone big. It was the song by Famous Dex and KT. It was called "I Live in LA," and
Okay.
there was a remix, and I heard the remix, and I hated the original song. If you don't know that song, like KT ruined it. But anyways, there was these two guys, Bree C and King K. Shout out them. They kind of really helped me get up off the ground. So I heard their remix on Apple Music, and I was like, there's a couple verses that they said, they kind of went back and forth. So I was like, every once in a while, I was like, this verse is not good. So I cut parts of what they said out and then placed myself in there.
Oh
And
wow.
at that point, you didn't have to like get verified for like a remix on
Yeah.
Apple Music. So I just put it out through United Masters, and I earned some money from it. And I got in total, I did like 100,000 plays as like a what, like a 14-year-old kid. So
Yeah.
I was like feeling really good, and I was like, well, maybe I should keep going. So I started putting out a lot of music, and I got some pretty good feedback, but it wasn't. I was young, so I didn't have access to the resources that maybe would have helped me continue to go up like more expeditiously. Um, Fast forward from 2020, I'd say, to like 2022, I started attending school, and this was like peak, like a great environment. I was in a room, and all the people on my floor, we had about 6 or 7 of us who made music. So we would all get together like every day, like me and my friend. The way we would conversate was through freestyling. Like I would tell him what I was about to do through a freestyle, and he would respond like freestyling.
Oh wow.
Like we would make our conversations rhyme. And so we were always freestyling. We were always making music all the time. So that really gave me a big boost in confidence and like everything. And then I came fast forward again, like to now where I'm at back in Connecticut. I came back for school. And I was putting out music here and there. I started realizing the business side of it, like in terms of promotion, social media, networking. And I dove into it a little bit, and it was atrocious. Like I was like, this is not what I want to do. This is not fun. And so I stopped doing all that, just kept making music.
The business part.
Yeah, the business part. But then I fast forward and I realized like, okay, if I want to do this, I have to learn this. And if it might not be the most fun part, because at the end of the day, I make music, but I also have to conduct myself as a businessman, because that's a whole part of it. If I want to succeed in the music industry, which is something that I'm still trying to figure out whether I want to do that or make music for fun. But in the meantime, I don't see a reason why I can't learn the business side of it. So to assist myself or at some point assist others. So this year, I started taking that more serious. So whenever shows would happen that I would be having, I would do more promotion. I would tell people, I would basically break things down. Like I realized, okay, I could release a song every week and not tell anyone, and I'll have a full catalog of songs, but nobody. It requires me to share those things with my friends, get feedback, go to the studio, make connections, send messages, just pitch myself as an artist with my music. And then so now where I'm at is I'm starting to build a team of people who I feel like are in a similar standing as me. Like, I feel like being in college is a perfect opportunity because there's people, I'm an artist, I'm a businessman. There's people who are social media experts. There are people who are marketing experts. And I'm trying to connect with those people who are here at my school to kind of meet us in this level so we can all rise together, which is pretty much the point of a lot of the stuff that I do. I like helping people rise, and I like when people help me rise too. So I started taking my music really serious this past year, this past summer, and I'm still figuring it out, still working with it, and I'm actually been excited with how I've seen myself and my music collectively grow. So
That's dope. That's dope. Questions. A lot of great businesses, like for instance, Google, started out with a bunch of college buddies.
mhm.
Um, Microsoft. So many. I'm pretty sure a lot of media companies as well too. I just can't think of any right now. Um, that's really really dope and solid because I feel like you're getting the resources as a student.
Mhm.
Um, and you don't have to do the extra with someone that's trying to build um not being a student. It's a good advantage.
Mhm.
And see that there were people out before you that already shown what could be done by just starting out in school. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg learned what he learned, and then he dropped out. He's a college dropout.
Mhm.
But some of his people on his team, see, it's funny because I'm a socialist at heart, but I pay attention to what these capitalist niggas do. So like I know backgrounds about these motherfuckers. I study them.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's a good pattern right there. What it so is that what live AFTF is? Is that a potential label, or is it already a label starting up?
So right now, Live AFTF is the clothing brand that I had
Okay.
worked on for a long time. It when it started, it was merchandise for my music, and I didn't stick with it because I didn't look enough for resources, and I guess maybe I didn't have anyone to direct me in the right way. So that took a break. But then I came here. Obviously there's ways to start a business and here, this and that, and it started off being like more of a money thing. Like, okay, if I make nice clothes, people will buy them, and and then it developed, and then I realized like I could tie it into my music, and really I could make it a merchandise thing. So that's what it is right now. My music name does happen to be Delhi AFTF, so I'm figuring out exactly where those two things tie together. I feel like I'm closer than I ever have been before in
Mhm.
terms of that, like keeping them on the same wavelength. I've found people to produce clothing, um, package
Word.
it, and all that. So it's on the right track to become its own like brand identity, but I'm not exactly there yet where I want to be.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Did I meet you at the table in the gallery? Do you ever
No,
be you ever been around there?
I don't
Some
think
Knowles spot.
I don't think so.
Because I was wondering if that was a dude that I met that had the shirt that had something similar on the back of it.
Mhm.
No, guess it wasn't you. But yeah, like that's dope. So you got a clothing line as well
Mhm.
too. Um, what does AF what does your name stand for? How did you come up with Delhi AFTF?
So in high school, it began as like it was all for the family. That's how it started. And then once I became more connected with my faith, I changed it, and that's when the clothing line really took off. It was all for the father, all for the family, and that's what it was for the clothing. And then I kind of did a lot of reflection, and I came to a conclusion that like, okay, my faith, like I can have separate pieces of my lives. Like if everything's all connected, it's going to be very overwhelming. And so I disconnected the all for the father piece for the reason that I want my faith to remain like faith and not business. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because once my faith had turned into like a way to make money, it didn't feel genuine to me. And so I wanted to disconnect it so that I could keep those pieces of my life separate so that they maintain their value.
So would you say you building a business is not of necessity, it's of obligation in this system growing up in this country?
I would say to an extent, yes. I think because I want to do music, I think I've seen a lot of my handful of my family has done music, not to put them down because they do make great music, and it's unfortunate that they may or may not
Oh,
have learned the
you
business
come from
side.
a very musical family background.
You
Okay.
know, yeah, pretty. I would say pretty diverse in that
Okay.
aspect. But seeing like, I don't know. I like doing big things. Like I don't know. I sometimes I struggle with patience, so I try to like go all out with things sometimes. But I don't necessarily like the idea of seeing myself as just like a bar to bar like weekend performer. You know, I wanted to turn it into something more. Again, not to discredit the people who do those things because for some people it's just a hobby, and that's okay. Um, but I wanted to turn it into something more. So I do think it did come out of somewhat of necessity because of the type of system that we live in. Like you don't go for what you want to get, and nobody's gonna hand it to you. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to build something. You have to build something that is solid because if not, in this society, in this system, it'll get toppled over. There's a million people doing the same thing as I'm doing, and I always think of it like this: why me? And then I also think, why not me? Because again, there's always someone better. There's always someone worse. You got to just
Right.
be okay with where you're at and continue pushing. But I do love music, and I think as I've learned the business, the piece that I was initially put off by, I think I started to have more of appreciation for music because there are people who do business and that's what they love. Like, for example, social media. There's some people who that's an art form for them. They love that. They love expressing that and they know how to do it. And
Yeah.
so I see people who have different passions in the same way as I have a passion for music. And I think it's all, it all gets put together in a wonderful way. So,
So basically, it takes the weight off your shoulders when you have a team that can help in different aspects of what you're trying to accomplish.
yes.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I mean to hit you with the real strong philosophical question, but I feel that like it's important to talk about that though
Of
because I
course.
think it's mind boggling to me as well too just to think on like what matters more. And from me, from what I'm hearing from you, um, you're in love with music and you want to always have the opportunity to express yourself with music. But also you understand that where if you want to get to where you want to get to, you gotta learn the business aspect. And honestly, it's very, very smart for you to have that idea. I wish I had that idea in mind earlier in life. I mean, I got annoyed with the business as well too, which is why I fell back for a little bit. We was going really, really hard in 2019. We had 3 bands, we had a lot of music coming out. COVID hit, that shit started pissing me off. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I totally get that, and think about how far you could go because you if you join a record label and get a 360 deal, you got to pay that back. And it's not to guarantee if you're going to be as big and successful. At least if you learn independently and blow up independently, or not even just blow up, get a buzz in Connecticut and get a following in Connecticut alone, that could also help you financially independently as well too. Because a lot of artists do that as well too. Um, you're better off,
Yeah.
and you don't owe anybody. So yeah, we still advocate for artists to learn how to go independent, but it's a skill. It's a skill, man. It's not easy at all. And I'm not telling that to you as in like warning you. I'm just saying that for the audience listening. It's not easy at fucking all. So I definitely you got my support. You need any help in like finding a last minute venue or something like that. I offer out, a media platform to help announce stuff, whatever. I offer you that out because I believe in your vision. Honestly, I like that last song that you had talking about talking about how you need some help. Like I find that's very humbling. What was the name of that song?
It's called Fighting Demons.
Fighting Demons. Yeah, I remember it was Demons something. And can you explain to us what made you write that song? Because you feel it. You feel like, yo, this want to do some shit.
That was the goal. To break it down a little bit, I've spent a lot of time listening to a lot of different music. And I recently, like last year, I was getting my hair done, and this lady was playing Friday, and I was like, "Who's this?" And she was like, "Friday." And ever since then, I felt like his music you could feel like in
Oh,
your
this is
soul.
an artist named Friday.
Yes,
All right, I need to look into
like you
him.
could
Okay.
feel it. And so I was like, I've made great songs that people responded well to about more um, secular or carnal things, but I really decided I wanted to take my faith in myself and everything more serious. And when I did that, it bled into my music. Like I wanted to do that more serious and make that more purposeful and intentional. And so when that song came around, and being of the Catholic Christian faith, you learn that like when you decide that you want to do things like more serious and be intentional, that there's some type of opposition in coming, like whether it be your own weaknesses that are pulling you back to like your old habits, or other people who you used to be very close with and do similar things with, who are appalled by the fact that you want to move forward in your life. And so, not to say that those people are demons, because by all means they're not. They're still great people. I still talk to those people, my friends, but they do see a change in attitude and how they respond to you and how they interact with you, because you decide that you want to make something great. You want to do something purposeful, intentional. And that's where that whole idea from the song came from. I play beats every once in a while and just see what I could come up with. And that one, if the sample came on and said, "I've been fighting demons and I need some love," and I was like, I feel this one, and I just started singing to it. I have a pretty decent ability to come up with the melodies very fairly quickly, and that one came off, and I was like, yeah, I feel this. Like I really feel it. Like because like I said, you decide you want to turn your life around. There, it's not just I want to turn my life around and it's done. No, you gotta change old habits. You gotta do some inner work. You gotta do some praying. In my situation, I know not everyone does that. You gotta lose some friends. You gotta meet some new people, and it takes effort. So I feel like fighting with my own inner demons, with oppositions of friends feeling dissatisfied with my choice to grow. It pieced that song all together.
Mm, mm. No, I feel that. I feel that, especially my parents they're pastors. We're not Catholic though. We're the born agains that y'all like to talk about.
Mhm.
You were born again. Yeah, we were one of them. And you know, demons, I guess, is a very huge concept in all forms of Christianity. The demon itself doesn't have to be like always a physical story. It's just showing that there is a struggle, a chronicle within your life that's happening right now. And I think it definitely contrasts in that song, showing that type of level. Like very, 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 very dope song, man. Dope song.
I appreciate it, man.
Get you a Connecticut reward for that.
For sure.
So, last question. What is your You say you're Catholic. Is it? Are you Hispanic? Are you from a Is your family from a Hispanic country?
So I was born in Guatemala. As you see, the
Hmm.
flag is back there.
Yeah,
I
that's the Guatemalan flag.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Uh,
Although I was adopted when I was about 8 months old, so my parents are Caucasian Italian
mhm,
actually.
mm,
So I do think I have a very diverse perspective because I was raised in an Italian family, but I am now, for a couple years now, been trying to discover my genetic
Heritage.
makeup, like being Hispanic. So I do think that does have an impact because I know, like in Mexico, they have a very strong Catholic faith, and
Yeah,
then similarly so for the in Italian culture. Um,
yeah.
so I feel like it kind of meshed well together and made for a strong faith.
Word. All right, brother Deli, I gotta get you back on this show, man. I think this was a really good interview.
Me
People
too.
gonna laugh at me because I usually don't smoke, but I was stressed out, so I had to.
Mhm.
I can see the comment. Oh, he's smoking. Look, y'all made him mad.
Yeah.
But I would really appreciate you coming on the show. And I know that we actually was trying to schedule this properly. And then today, I'm sorry, I literally looked at the date of one of your shows, and I thought it said today. I was like, oh, how you gonna be able to perform it? I must be seeing things wrong. And then when you mentioned it, I was like, God, I saw that wrong. I apologize about that.
No,
I had a date today,
no
my
worries.
brother.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Me too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I hope everything well on your side too, man. Hell yeah. Give me your last words for the audience before we head out. You know what I mean?
So
Anything new coming out? Anything you want to?
definitely, I'll say this Thursday actually at 7:15, I'll be performing at Cedar Park in New Haven. That's something I want to put out there. And also, I would say there's some new music on the way. I've been lacking in that area, so I want to get back into that. I've been focused a lot on performing. So after this show on Thursday, be tuned in for new music actually releasing. But yeah, I want to definitely emphasize this Thursday, October 17th, 7:45, Chapel Street, New Haven, 7:15. I will be on the stage at Cedar Park.
Wait. All right, brother. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and to everybody out there as well too. As you see the information in the bottom, please. I gotta keep telling people this. Please donate to POW Crisis Relief. It's the link that's right on IG, and you will be helping displaced families. That's where those funds go straight to. It's been vetted. A lot of medical volunteers have confirmed this, so it's very, very important. And check out Deli new music. The link will be in the description below. And this is another great episode by the Jabbar Podcast. And have a really good day.
Blank period, yeah. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?